Welcome to the show. First piece of mail. This is an embarrassment to Black History and MLK from Mr. Lama, who lives down in Australia. He said, Chicago must be the worst place in America. Not that I know of. This shit makes me ashamed to be black. Check out this video. Tell me what you think. Shake my fucking head. What's wrong with black youth in Chicago? They try to kill each other. I believe that that place has the highest murder rate in America. And one black man said on YouTube, it's because too many blacks live there. That's why Chicago, aka Chi-Town, aka Chirac, is like that. Teens in Chicago start melee outside Ford City Mall, breaking cars. We've had riots all over the place there, Mr. Lama. Let's see what we got here. You know what? I'll have to watch that later. We'll check it out. Handling shit test. I watched the vid you made yesterday from our SCA about one of your players handling a shit test this woman gave him, and it made me remember what happened with my previous starter hope. She out of the sudden asked me if I saw a future for our relationship. I said, of course I do. And she replied she loved me, but it was only as a friend. That's some women. Hey, that's cool. That takes you off the hook, doesn't it? I got very upset at her saying she lied to me. Why would you care there, RCA, if she's fucking you? And she says she only sees you as a friend. You got to make sure that you get rid of all that feminine emotion that's in you, fellas. That's feminine to respond like that. Men, I'd actually be thankful, because that takes me off the hook later on for asking, why can't we be together? She only sees me as a friend. If we're only fuck buddies, that's good for me. So we got to make sure we don't respond like women. I know that femininity has seeped into mankind, and that's where we got to start knocking that shit out. Okay? So you should have got upset. I got upset at her saying she lied to me about our whole relationship because she didn't really love me. You didn't love me! See what I'm saying there, RSCA? And I made her clear I wasn't going to stay friends with a bitch like her. I got dumped and never heard from her again. So I wonder, was this a shit test? I think she was being honest with you. She wasn't probably looking for anything serious. And then you responded kind of like a bitch there, RSCA. You did a feminine thing. A very feminine thing. Okay? That's how women respond. And next time, if a woman ever says that to you, jump up and down, do a tap dance. Because that really lets you off the hook to keep playing and shit. Okay? You got feminine, you got emotional, and all that kind of shit because she didn't love you. Alright, Jerko. Hey, Supreme, you asked why would I keep a sneaky girl around snake in bed? It's because I currently don't have any piece of ass. I figured that. And because of fear, I won't find a new bitch that easy. I knew that too. Now, if you were actively, while you got the bitch, working on finding other bitches, you'd actually do it. You're going to be the ones kind of guys that, I got to break up with her first. Then you have no bitches, and bitches ain't going to come near you, because you have no bitches. Okay? I want to replace her, then dump her. But honestly, it's just an excuse. I know this bitch is blocking me from doing anything in that area. I allow her to stunt, you allow her, see? My growth, and by hanging around her, I won't get any new piece of ass on my jock. She's always calling, texting, wants to go out all the time, not respecting my own time and goals, but it's my fault for not sticking to them and allowing this behavior. I'm glad you realize that, Jerko. I'm glad you realize it. So when you get tired of it, then you'll do the man thing. And that is really spend some time getting a new bitch. Replace her before you get rid of her. Never, ever, ever, fellas, do what dudes do. Okay? Dudes are stupid, as I keep telling you. They do dude things. A dude will get rid of a bitch before he gets a new bitch. A woman will replace that man with a new man. The new man's already either in bed with her or right next to it. Okay? They do it smarter than we do. So we gotta start doing the same thing. Being smarter about our shit. Stop all the bitch assness. Especially getting feminine. That's some bitch assness there, RSCA. No offense to you, but that's some bitch assness. I'm looking on the blog now. Let's see. Pet is saying, man, fuck these trolls. Their 15 minutes of fame should be over a long time. They only get 15 minutes of fame with me. As long as people keep buying their useless, shabby products, theorizing bullshit tactics, they will never go away anytime soon. Player, keep blowing these faggots out the water. Let's see. Oh yeah, I went to a site. I actually posted the link on my own forum. I'm asking my fellas, does this shit really work? It was a fucking flow chart, fellas. It was a fucking flow chart. A long one. And I want to know, does that shit really work? It was like, if she smiles, do this. If she doesn't smile, do that. And it branched off and it came back together, went down, over to the side. Are people really, in this community, really that robotic in their inner nature? So I did a video on it. But I don't want it to start trouble, so I may not put it up. I may just put it on my forum. Or, rather words, on, let's see, on my playersupreme.info site in the blog area. So anybody who wants to see it, maybe I'll put it up there. But, really? I'm shaking my, really? It was the most robotic shit I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe people actually do that. Alright, let's move on down to the major shit test. Okay, fellas. Greg the Nice Jerk, I already responded to him. He's in the wrong place. We congratulate guys for that. And, you know, I kind of looked at Greg's channel. I asked him a question. If he's biracial, I'm wondering if he was raised possibly by his mother, as to why he responded that way. There's no such thing as a nice jerk, fellas. That's really just a nice guy trying to not hold the title of nice guy. And some nice guys, you know, they get girlfriends. You know, our biracial brothers, they can do pretty well. I agree with you. Magar Garolteo. And looks like this video is getting a lot of views real fast. I'm proud of my player for handling his business like a pimp. Or like a real player, in other words. He really did a good job on that one. Being real versus fake. There are 15 comments on it. Yeah, fella. And hopefully I've gotten rid of the trolls. Let me know again if they come back. We'll get rid of them again till they give up. And I believe it's actually from the site. After I put up the video, I realized it's a site called PUA Hate, because I mentioned them in a video recently. And their guys actually watch my videos. But then they probably mentioned how I said something about them. And then the haters come in. Let's see. Anti-gayer is back. And I'm going to see what his... Player Supreme's teachings are fundamentally flawed. I hope you see this and move on before getting caught up and confused like Player himself. He is trying to teach you something instinctual in nature by using logic, and you are trying to understand by using logic. That is a sure recipe for disaster on many fronts. And the worst part is that he doesn't understand that at all. Good luck. I guess the other option is that flow chart that I saw. No, I'm trying to teach you guys to be more natural. It's not rocket science to go meet a girl. Okay? It's not rocket science to see what girls are feeling me. I mean, what's instinctual about that? You see them look at you. There's no instinct there. You go into a room, you observe, and you see them look at you. Oh, she's feeling me. So you step over, ask her to dance, because she likes you. You know, you step. That's the guys that do what I say do. And there's nothing instinctual about dressing well. There's nothing instinctual about hitting the gym, make your muscles look nice, so you become a man of form. You know, that's a man of form, broad shoulders, narrow at the waist. Like we like women of form. You know, black folks, we like them like that. Some people of other races like them like that. You know, little starving Asian type women. You know, whatever is in your mind. So whatever your idea of form is. So, you know, general idea of man of form is a man with broad shoulders and narrow at the waist for women. So what's instinctual about that, fellas? You see how they try to come in and get you to discount what I'm doing here? But you guys seen all the success I've had. You guys seen all the guys have done what I said do, and they've actually been very successful. You've seen their accounts. You've seen, I think it's this post here. No, the last one I did on the brother, what he was working with and how he handled the shit. Nothing instinctual there. He thought for a minute, got calm, and handled shit. And he took what I'm teaching and gave her 9 orgasms. See what they're trying to do? That's some weak ass shit. Let's go ahead and make sure this motherfucker, yeah, he's blocked. And I'm gonna remove this one. Gone. It's that simple. Let's see. Remove. And I'm gonna flag it for some spam shit. Oh, it already been flagged for spam. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And he's gone. Notice how they, under one of their photos that they used, they had an old photo of me doing that TV show that I did. Now they're using a show of me being successful, or they're using a picture of me being successful at something. Who else has done a TV show? I'll wait. From their group, PUA Hate People. So even back then, before I even got on that fucking internet, I was doing successful things. Does that make sense? So of course I'm going to pass on how I became successful at something. As I keep telling you guys, I'm from the real world. I'm not an internet nerd. I'm not some dude that theorized about the shit. I hate theory stuff. That's why I had trouble when I got to the Pimps Network. You know, this is some bullshit. I'm not sit like a bitch and bat my eyes and wait for a female to approach me. You know, that whole, the guy named that wrote some 13 piece of paper, The Kid, which I did review stuff on, and I also showed you where he went wrong and what you could do better from his material. But anyway, when I got on the internet, I'm not going to sit there like a bitch. That's feminine. You know, pretty boys do that. And one of the guys that liked that style was a pretty boy out of the UK called Paradise. And he wrote a book that you can, if you're in the UK, go to Amazon.uk and look for Space Age Pimping by Paradise. And if you buy the book, tell me it's not feminine nature. You know, how he describes how he went out to dinner with a girl, and the girl expected him to pay, so he took a whatever pound note it was and ripped it in half and threw it on the table and stomped off. When I read that, I couldn't even finish them. I've never been able to finish that damn book, fellas. I couldn't stomach it because my inner nature was roiling against it. Just as it broiled up against the whole idea of being pimp tight. It was a bunch of weak ass motherfuckers trying to do weak ass things. And of course, the nerds got in there, and they liked it because they believed that a girl would come up and step up to them. So we started, you know, me and some other guys started battling on that site with these motherfuckers. And eventually, a guy named Rylan started a place called PimpHop.com. And I started the first Players University on there. From there, I started posting on So Suave to attract members. I didn't know anything about marketing, but that just made logical sense to me. I now realize it's called forum marketing. You go around the forums, you make posts, people like what you say, they look at your SIG file, they follow that back. It just made sense to me. I didn't know anything about marketing. I wasn't on the Warriors forum at that time. That's way back in the early 2000s. I kept getting into battles with people on So Suave because I don't understand the people who are on the internet. I don't understand these motherfuckers. That's a lot of you guys too who come from that world, but I don't understand how you can, like the whole flow chart thing. Do you know how fucking robotic and nerdy that is? It makes people who do that stuff like fucking click where number one. Walk to her. I can't do that. I'm natural. I'm a human being. I can't respond like a little robot man. But I've seen people like that on videos, like when the kid that when they show someone that was really nerdy that shot people up, they describe his personality, stuff like that. I've seen that kind of personality, that's really really far out there, and I've seen that same personality in movies. In fact, don't go see this movie. There's a new one coming out. This time they're picking on the Asian guy. They got him dressed up in pink women's bra and panties, and it's supposed to be his 21st birthday. It's kind of like that old movie where the guy dropped dead, Bernie, Weekend at Bernie's. Only the kid's not dead. And now it's these weak motherfuckers, these dweebs that are in Hollywood. They always play dweeb roles, and they're two dweebs that run around, trying to get chicks. Don't believe the Hollywood shit, okay? That shit don't happen like that. And Asian dudes aren't nobody's clowns, okay? Think about it. Think about the Asian guys that you guys know. They ain't no clowns. They don't do stupid shit like that, trying to fit in. That's only in Hollywood, in the minds of these Caucasian writers who got issues going on themselves of being punks. So of course they want to, denigrate other races. I'm not even gonna bother seeing that fucking movie. It's like I didn't see that movie about those other nerds that they went to some kind of big party. That was it. Some kind of big. I don't remember the fucking title of the shit. I don't go see the Hollywood nonsense anymore. So we have to be careful and wake up to reality, fellas. Really, I didn't come from the internet. I didn't evolve off a forum. I had game before I got on the fucking net. So I'm trying to remind you, fellas. So when I got on So Suave, it's like, of course, I'm bringing the natural, what really works in the real world. And of course, these people's minds have been evolved on some forum shit that's based on some nonsense shit, so people sell them some fucking books. And those guys at PUA hate, they know that shit. That's why they're hating on PUAs. They're hating actually on anybody. I'll get to them in just a minute. So I start showing, what I'm doing in the game, showing conversations I've had with girls, trying to teach the motherfuckers, and I built a good following on there. Okay, people went over to Pimp Hop, joined Pimp Hop. They learned the real game. They got their girlfriends or whatever and got on. Okay, I got tired of the bullshit there. I went to fastseduction.com. More of the same bullshit. Only these guys were more snobbish about their shit. Many of them liked what I had to say, so from there I started my first podcast show. And from there I built my first site, and then from there, membership site. Okay? I didn't actually do the site. I had a young fellow do it for me. I didn't build it myself. In fact, I have a very, very good architect that does all that stuff. He's good at what he does. I got lucky, and I've been doing it ever since. But again, I'm not from, some nerd shit. I could not understand following, to meet a girl, a fucking flowchart. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy Jesus. So I'm going to put up that video and let you guys see it. Now let me get to the PUA hate people. I've noticed, and remember I told you like attracts like? Remember I said that? That's why I noticed that's So Suave. The same kind of fucking personalities. Then I saw their fucking faces. I thought everybody on the internet was like me, average, above average in looks, somewhere in there. Then I saw the fucking faces of the people on So Suave. So now I understood the market. That's who's listening to us. right post, and these are the guys from my high school days that we kind of punked out all the time. They were smaller in stature, big brain types. Like when we play slaughter ball, they're the first ones to get out. If you guys know what slaughter ball is, they probably don't allow you guys to play anymore. Like some little sissies, but you lined up across the gym when it rained. You lined up soccer balls, and you ran for the soccer ball, and there's two teams on one side. You take a soccer ball and you slam those bitches' faces, or they're somewhere on them. Just tag them somewhere, and they're out. Okay, I usually end up being one of the last people out, but there was always people that were quicker. Like one guy that went to my high school named Gerald Wilhite. He played for the Denver Broncos. You can hardly ever get that motherfucker. He was actually really small back in junior high school. He was very undersized, and he just kind of grew after you got out of actually college or high school, in other words. But that's that was the game back then. It was fun. Or mud soccer, or mud football. If it was rainy outside, the field was all muddy. We don't have to play football. So these little guys that they sit on the sideline, doing the inhalers. Fresh air is bad for my health. Mommy said, those guys. That's what was there, and that's the majority of you guys listen to me, black or white or Asian. So I don't mean to insult you, but I'm showing you where I'm, my perspective, where I'm coming from. I'm trying to communicate, what is in my head. And I apologize if it offends you, but that's the truth of the matter, as I've seen it in life. So after I realized, who's listening to me, actually watching my videos right now too, I realized that, because I used to say, I used to be all about, hey, just go up and say hi to a girl. Okay? Well, what's the big harm? And after I realized that, I realized, oh, it's not going to work. These guys got to get, more manly. So I was like, hey, hit the gym. Start dressing better. All the stuff that I was doing on a natural basis, I started getting more advice about it. There's no one thinking about it hitting the gym. No one's thinking about dressing better, looking better. Because as ZZ Top, a white group, said, women like a sharp-dressed man. Even those motherfuckers knew it. Okay? They had them long-ass hillbilly beards. You guys know what ZZ Top is. If you don't, go Google them. Shit. So, now, as I said, like minds coalesce in places. The people on So Suave were a bunch of virgins. They were like that. Okay? Now, when they try this stuff, and it doesn't work for them, they coalesce on sites like POA Hate. They're the angry types that would go out and shoot up people. Go to the site and see what I'm talking about. There's a large degree of homosexuality amongst the members going on there. They post, I don't know where they get the photos from. Like when I was there, they had a picture of a black dude opening up another black man's ass and looking inside. Yeah. Remember, I'm from the real world. I'm from the old archetype of males. You know what that did to me inside? And I knew that on So Suave there were bisexual men trolling the whole site and looking for, young ass to convert, because a lot of the males are confused by the sexuality. One man actually blasted out and said, and I've got the post somewhere, why not just become homosexuals? Homosexuals have it easy. They can get held, and for a man like me, when I become a homosexual, are you fucking kidding me? So, when you get like-minded all together, you get the worst of the worst in one site. They will do stuff like look for my pictures, old pictures. They'll collect this stuff. They'll spend a lot of time and energy on this stuff. Watch what they do. They'll make a video. They'll do whatever it takes, because their minds are full of hatred. They're the negative of the negative, all pulled together in one little group. And not a one of them has a girlfriend. As one of the ex-members told me, they're all virgins, and they're all pissed off. It's amazing. It's really amazing that they gather in one place. And I can't say all of them, the majority of them. Okay? So you get these angry nerds all in one place, and they're gonna do nerd things, like do Photoshop shit. You know, nerds love that Photoshop thing, and do Photoshop shit like that. That's the way it is. So they're gonna start trolling the channel for a while, and then they'll eventually give up. They always do. So we'll see them come, we'll see them go. They have never stopped me yet. Okay. And I guess that's all I got to say today. Hope you guys understand the concept of like minds will pull together, even on the internet. If you think back, if you go to like a school dance and the nerds actually go, you see them all in a nerd pile, a nerd group. The jocks are in their group. The average beta males, you know, they're the majority of the people there. The unmajority are the nerds and the cool people and the jocks, the attractive people. Okay. They all go, the attractive people, the jocks, the cool people, they go in one pile. Now you separate that pile into the guys who look good, the guys who are just jocks, and the guys who are cool. Okay, some of the cool guys may not look that good, but they got a certain swag about them. But in that big pile, you'll see they're all coalesced together. Okay, whereas the nerds, they're at the bottom of the totem pole. You know, the average people in the center, they're out there, you know, doing their thing, trying to make their hookups and, you know, meet each other. Then you got the people down at the bottom, the nerds. And that's the majority of my viewers. I recognize that. You guys remember your high school. You're ostracized from the dating pool. So you end up in that little pool at the bottom. Okay? That's what I'm trying to get you guys out of. So you can swim to the top. And becoming more robotic is not going to get you out of it. It's going to make you sink down further. Now, once you realize, you know, where you're at in life, then you can start making progress into growing out of it. Okay? But it's got to be, you got to take the fantasy out of the shit, the Hollywood out of the shit, and look at it from reality. If you can't face reality, you're going to stay stuck in the same place, constantly treading water. All right? So if you're on the internet, then you're probably at the bottom of the pool. Most guys that come to the internet, you know, looking for answers, or the ones at the bottom of the pool. And you're trying to swim your way to the top, or at least into the middle pile where you can get some decent ass and, you know, be happy. Okay? It gets even, you got to swim even harder to get to the top. When I say swim, that means you got to better yourself. You know, it takes years to get a really hot body. You know, if you're fat, you got to take off the weight, then build the muscle, and then you got to, you know, work on the facial structure. You got to work on your coolness. You got to work on your confidence. So that's what I mean by swimming. It took me a lot of swimming upstream, up out of the depths of the water to get to where I was in the game. Okay? If I jump back in, I got to swim again to regain everything that, you know, that I may have let drop. Like, you know, I know I've slid in the game a little bit. I put on some weight in the belly area. You know, look, that's the sum total of my weight. It may not look like much, but that's enough. I know I got to get rid of that little pooch there. I've lost a lot of weight, but I still got the little pooch left. Okay? And I know, you know, I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm not going to do some mommy told me I was good looking, so I'm handsome shit nonsense. I like dealing with reality. And a lot of people, they got their feelings hurt by this. If you're the type to get your feelings hurt, you don't want to listen to me. I am not the person you want to listen to, because I'm going to break it down to you in truth. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're just average from what I can see. If you weren't average, you know, this would be all over you. Are they all over you? There you go. Sorry for the wake-up call. You know, so a lot of guys that got that feminine nature and that bitch-assness, they can't handle the shit. Like one fella in particular, I think his name was Night Shroud or something like that. You know, I was honest with the guy, but I told him he had potential. He's one of my biggest haters now. He's over there with the TFL guys. And I realized that inner nature of man has really, really gotten soft and moist. A real man would have worked on himself. So he said, you know what, man, you're fucking right. You know, I'm gonna work on myself. And you know, he said he had some kind of disease where he feels a lot of pain. I got sarcoidosis of my lungs. Okay, I'm still training with weights. All right. Does that make sense? Pain ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna keep pushing. In one way or another, I'm still gonna find a way to keep pushing. You can knock me down, you can kick the shit out of me, but I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna keep going forward. Okay, but next time it's gonna be a harder fight. That's the way I am, and that's the way you guys need to learn to be. Peace.